If I had to book 20 weddings in the next 90 days, here's exactly what I would do. Because 20 weddings in 90 days isn't luck, it's about having the right leverage. And if you sequence the leverage correctly, it becomes extremely predictable. So let's break this down step by step. 3 months, three objectives. First positioning, then sales, and finally acquisition. Most photographers and videographers try to start with marketing, and that's the mistake because traffic doesn't fix a broken system. Traffic amplifies whatever system already exists. If your positioning is weak, traffic produces price shoppers. If your sales process is weak, traffic produces ghosting. So we start with the foundation. Before I try to generate a single lead, I fix my positioning because if positioning is weak, more leads just means more rejection, more inquiries, more conversations, all to end in the same result, which is no bookings. Positioning determines whether someone sees you as just another photographer or videographer or the obvious choice to capture their wedding. So the first thing I would do is pick a lane, and I mean a real lane, not just wedding photography or wedding videography. That's not positioning. That's a category and it's generic. Instead, I would specialize. An example could be luxury planner-led weddings or cultural multi-day weddings, adventure elopements, high-energy party weddings, editorial-style weddings, destination weddings. Whatever it is, specific always beats broad. If you're thinking why, it's because when you try to appeal to everyone, you blend into the background. But when you speak directly to a specific type of couple, you become more recognizable. And recognition increases trust, and trust increases bookings. So step one is specialization. Pick a lane. Step two is rewriting your messaging. Every piece of language in your business should answer three questions. Who is this for? What outcome do I deliver? And what problem do I remove? Most photographers and videographers write vague statements like, we capture timeless love stories. That means nothing. Instead, your message should sound like this. For couples who want a stress-free, fully guided wedding photography experience. Or for couples who hate being posed and want natural documentary style films. Now suddenly the right clients feel seen. The wrong client, they filter themselves out. And filtering is powerful because positioning isn't about attracting everyone, it's about attracting the right people faster. And then step three is simplifying your offer. Most photographers and videographers make this mistake. They have 3 packages, 5 add-ons, 8 different price combinations, and the couple opens up your pricing guide and just feels overwhelmed. Confusion kills sales. Instead, I would create a 5-tiered value ladder that allows you to optimize decision making and profitability. This simplifies the buying decision because buyers don't want more choices, they just want confidence in the decision that they're making. Step 4 is removing weak language. Weak language kills authority. Things like starting at or let me know your budget, no pressure, we can customize something. That language signals uncertainty. Instead, replace it with confident language. Most couples invest around, based on what you told me, this is what I would recommend. Confidence builds trust, and trust shortens the sales cycle. So month 1 is all about clarity. Clear audience, clear message, clear offer, clear pricing, because clarity increases your conversions. Now that positioning's sharp, we move to sales because bookings don't happen from leads, bookings happen from conversations, and conversations only convert when they're structured properly. So let's talk about math for a second. If I want 20 weddings in 90 days, I need to do the reverse engineering on the conversion factors. So let's say my close rate's 25%. That means I need 80 sales calls to get 20 bookings. But if I improve my close rate to 40%, I only need 50 calls. That's 30 fewer conversations. Same outcome, that's leverage. This is why sales is the most underutilized growth lever in business. Most wedding creatives treat consult calls like casual chats. They hop on Zoom, they talk about the venue, they answer questions, and then they send their pricing guide and just say something like, let me know what you think. That's not sales, it's just exposure. Sales requires structure. Every consultation should follow the same workflow. Small talk, set the agenda, go into discovery, provide a recommendation, and go for the close. Small talk's quick, just enough to build rapport, and then setting the agenda is just something like, hey, here's how I usually run these calls. I'll ask a few questions about your wedding and what you're looking for, then I'll walk you through what working together looks like. By the end of the call, we'll know if we're a good fit. Now, you control the conversation. Next comes discovery, and this is where most people rush. But discovery is where the sale actually happens. You ask questions like, what's most important to you about your wedding photos? Or what would make this process feel effortless for you? Or have you had any frustrating experiences with photographies before? Or what are you most excited about capturing from the day? You take notes and you listen carefully because the words that they use become the words that you'll reflect back to them later. If they say they want to feel relaxed, later on in the pitch, you're going to say, my goal is to create a relaxed environment so you never feel staged. Mirroring language builds trust. After discovery comes the recommendation. Not just dumping a bunch of packages on their plate, just say something like, this is what I would recommend based on what you told me. Give them a clear price, don't hesitate, and then ask for the sale directly. Just say something like, would you like to move forward and reserve your date? And then just stop talking. Silence is super powerful. Most photographers and videographers talk themselves out of bookings because they'll fill up the silence. If the couple hesitates, you clarify. You don't pressure them. Just clarify. What part would you like information about? That's it. That's your sales process. Month 2 is about improving your close rate because traffic without conversion is just noise. Now that that's fixed, we install your lead flow. Not random marketing, but predictable acquisition. So to book 20 weddings in 90 days, let's do the math again. Assuming a 40% close rate, to book 20 weddings, I would need 50 sales calls. And if about 70% of inquiries book a call, I need roughly 72 inquiries. That's about 24 inquiries a month, or roughly 6 inquiries a week. Now suddenly the goal feels manageable. 6 inquiries a week, that's like 1 a day. It's not that insane. So now install 1 predictable lead source, not 5, just 1, because depth beats distraction. There are 3 primary options that I would consider. Option 1 is paid ads, targeting engaged couples. Option 2 is planner and venue relationships. And option 3 is just SEO. Personally, I would go after paid ads and planner relationships because they're predictable. And before you roll your eyes, let me explain something to you. Most photographers and videographers say ads don't work, but what they usually mean is I boosted a post once, spent $100 and got nothing. That's not real advertising. Paid ads work extremely well when they're structured correctly. And the goal here isn't to just go viral. The goal is simple. 6 qualified inquiries per week. That's it. Remember the math. We need roughly 72 inquiries to produce 50 consultations, which should produce around 20 bookings at a 40% close rate. So the job of advertising isn't to get attention, it's to create conversations. Now here's how I would actually run this. First, your campaign structure. Inside Ads Manager, I would run 1 campaign with 2 ad sets. Ad set 1 is broad targeting. Ad set 2 is engaged interest targeting. For the broad set, I would just target locations within 30 to 50 miles of my city, age range of like 23 to 40, gender of women, and leave the rest open. Meta's algorithm is extremely good at finding engaged couples when you give it room. And then for the second ad set, I would just layer in wedding related interests. And now we let the algorithm test which audience performs better. Next is creative. Creative is where most photographers and videographers overthink things. Your ad doesn't need to be cinematic, it just needs to be clear. There's 3 different ad formats that consistently perform well. The first is a direct-to-camera video, something simple like, hey, if you're planning a wedding in whatever city and want photos that actually feel natural instead of staged, I'm currently accepting a limited number of weddings for the 2026 season. Tap below to check my availability. That's it. It's clear, it's human, it's authentic. The second format is a carousel ad. Think 5 to 8 of your best images, each image showing a different moment, like ceremony, couple portraits, reception, candid moments, with simple captions like real moments, no awkward posing. The third format's a teaser highlight film. So if you're a filmmaker, this is incredibly powerful because people buy emotion, not specifications. Now let's talk about the offer. This is where most photographers and filmmakers mess up. Your ad shouldn't say, now booking 2026 weddings or give away a free engagement or whatever. That's not an offer, it's just an announcement. Instead, give couples a reason to inquire right now. Examples might be now accepting 15 weddings for 2026 or currently booking a limited number of documentary style weddings in whatever city you're in. Scarcity increases action. Clarity increases trust. Now let's talk about budget. You don't need thousands of dollars. Most photographers start seeing traction with 20 to 40 bucks a day, and that's roughly 600 to 1200 bucks a month. If your cost per lead's around 20 to 40 bucks, which is pretty common in the wedding market, that means $600 could generate roughly 15 to 30 inquiries. Even if one of those turns into a $5,000 wedding booking, the math becomes obvious. But the key here is patience. Most people turn ads off way too early. They run them for like 3 days, see no results, and then panic. Advertising works through data accumulation. You need roughly 7 to 14 days before the algorithm stabilizes. Now, after your couple fills out your inquiry form, this is where the real leverage happens. Follow-up speed. If someone fills out your form at 3 p.m. and you respond the next morning, you've already lost momentum. The couple might have filled out 5 inquiry forms that afternoon. The first person to respond usually wins. So instead, we install the 5-minute rule. Every lead gets a response within 5 minutes. Immediately, they get a text message, an email, and a link to schedule a consultation. The text might say something simple as like, hey, is this name? It's Aidin from Novell Cinema. And this dramatically increases their response rate. And response rate increases book consultations. Now, once the system is running, we optimize. The goal isn't constant tweaking. The goal is identifying the winning ad and scaling it. If one ad produces cheaper leads, increase its budget. If another ad performs poorly, you just turn it off. The system improves over time as data accumulates. And once the engine's working, something really powerful happens. Your marketing stops feeling random. You know how many leads come in each week. You know how many calls you book. You know how many weddings that produces. And once you understand those numbers, growth becomes extremely predictable. That's the real power of paid ads. Not just more leads, but predictable leads, predictable conversations, predictable bookings. And when bookings become predictable, your business stops feeling chaotic and it starts feeling engineered. But whatever lead generation path you choose, the key is consistency. Marketing works through repetition, not bursts of effort. Now let's talk about what I would avoid. I wouldn't redesign my website again. I wouldn't obsess over my presets or color grading. I wouldn't buy another course about editing style. I wouldn't post random content on Instagram just hoping that it converts. And I definitely would not run ads before fixing positioning and sales, because booking 20 weddings isn't magic. It's just math. Positioning increases conversion, sales multiplies leads, and traffic fills the pipeline. That's the order. The reason most photographers and videographers never book 20 weddings isn't market saturation. It's just sequence. They try to scale traffic before fixing the foundation. They pour water into a bucket with holes. Fix the bucket first, then add water. If you build this in the correct order, booking 20 weddings in 90 days becomes aggressive but possible. If you build it in the wrong order, it just becomes chaos. More leads, more stress, same results. Because success in this industry isn't about working harder, it's about building the right structure. So if you want the full system for installing that structure, positioning, offer design, sales scripts, predictable acquisition, go to howtosellweddings.com and watch the training. Hopefully you learned something in this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and you'll see more videos on how you can grow your wedding business. You can also follow me on Instagram at Aidin Tyler, and I'll see you in the next video.